Hey y'all, welcome back to Sass Queen Bling. Thank you for clicking on my channel. I'm Robin Anderson and I'm the owner and maker at Sass Queen Bling. Today I'm going to be using a 12-ounce infuser from Craft Haven. This is so cute. The lid actually screws off of this. And the top part actually screws off also so that you can put whatever you want inside of there. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own tattoos. The first thing I want to do is start off by taping off the threads on the very top of this so that I don't get any paint or anything on there. And I use electrical tape to do this. Now I just want to take my 60 grit sanding block. I'm just going to lightly sand over this. You always want to sand your tumbler or whatever you're working with and then wipe it down with alcohol. The next thing I'm going to do is use white prime time from Counterculture to base coat the tumbler. And I usually do about at least 3 coats of this, letting it dry in between, and I just use my heat gun to dry the layers. Now I'm ready to add my alcohol inks. I'm going to use a chip brush, a cup of alcohol to dip it in between each color. I'm going to use Holtz Mojito, Holtz Limeaid, and Holtz Watermelon. I'm just going to start with the green because I'm doing like a watermelon. So I'm going to start with the darker green and just going to drop it on there, brush it left to right with my chip brush. And I'm just going to continue to do this pattern. Using the dark Mojito. And there really is no rhyme or reason here, or you're not looking for perfection. I'm just going left to right and around the tumbler just to get the look of a watermelon, but it doesn't have to be perfect. The thing about art and tumblers is not perfection. You're not looking for perfection. You're just creating. And I just keep going, and I'm going to add more wherever I want it darker at, or wherever I don't like what pattern I have there. I'm just going to keep working over it and over it until I get it the way that I want it. It's going to be personal preference. Now I'm going to go into the Limeaid, which is a little bit lighter green. And I'm just going to work this in. And you do kind of want to overlap here so that you can kind of blend that together. And it's just a matter of keep working it over and over and until you get the look that you're going for. Now I'm going into the watermelon red. Just going to drop it on there the same as the others, left to right. And I'm also going to work that into that green. You will get a different color there, but it's fine. You just blend it, keep blending it until you get what you're going for. It does take a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, But remember, alcohol inks reactivate alcohol inks. So the more that you're dropping it on there, reactivating that and going over it, you're blending it more and more as you're going. So you just keep working it. Just keep working at it. Working, working, working. Keep going. Now I want to add, excuse me, the watermelon seeds. I'm just going to use a black Sharpie marker and I'm just going to draw them on there. Now, if you're not comfortable doing that, you can get a stencil of them and cut them out with black vinyl. I'm not worried about it being perfect, so I would rather draw them on here. And I just draw them like little raindrops, the same design as a seed. I'm also going to add them on the bottom. And the same as the others. Now I'm going to use Tack It, the repositional glue that I have used before. You want to make sure your tumbler is good and dry before you apply this Tack It. I'm just going to apply it in even coats. Oops. That's a good bit. I probably don't need this much, but oh well, I'll work it in. You want to get good even strokes all the way over the tumbler. If you get too much on there like I've just done, you just work with it and work it in. And it'll be fine. And I will do this coat and then dry it with my heat gun, and then I'll go over it with another coat and dry it with my heat gun, and then I'll be ready to move on to my next step. Now I'm ready to add my glitter. I'm using Brite from Peachy Olive Glitters. I'm just going to pour it all over the tumbler. I want to make sure I cover it well, starting on the bottom. And then I just cover the whole entire tumbler. Now I want to take a gloved hand and I'm just going to rub the glitter in a circle, and that's going to rub that in and lay the glitter down. That's the purpose of the Tack It, the repositional glue. If you want to see more of the repositional glue, I made another video last week if you'd like to check that out, where I talked more about it. And I'm just going to rub this whole entire thing in to lay this glitter down flat. And it is so beautiful. I just love this technique. Now I just take my chip brush and brush over it. Make sure I get all of the loose glitter off if there's any loose glitter on it. Now I'm ready for my first layer of epoxy. I've mixed up 15 milliliters of Counterculture's medium viscosity, and I've added Peachy Olive Glitter's Ermahgerd in it. And I need to get more of this because I absolutely love this. It's my favorite. I added just a tad bit of that in it just to add a little more sparkle, because you can never have enough glitter. I'm just going to apply this all over the tumbler, a nice even coat. Now I just want to add some more sparkle to it, some extra sparkle. So I'm using Glitter Heart Company's Frosted Mojito. It's a beautiful green. And I'm just going to sprinkle this on the top darker green here, because it kind of matches that color really well. And this isn't a real chunky glitter, but it's not a fine glitter either, so it'll work perfect for this. Now I'm going to take Baby Ballerina from Maestro Creations. I hope I'm saying that right. It's an absolutely gorgeous glitter also. I'm just going to sprinkle that down here on the red, pinkish red kind of, because it doesn't really look pink on the tumbler, but it goes well with this watermelon red alcohol ink. Now I'm going to take Louisiana Lace from Mr. Nola's glitter. And I'm just going to sprinkle this kind of diagonally here and there, because it has a little bit of silver in it. It has a little bit of silver and a little bit of opal. And I just think going diagonally like this will give it a beautiful look. And you don't want to, I'm not going to add a lot of this. I'm just sprinkling it through my hands, just a light layer. I'm going to let this turn 6 hours, and then I'll do another coat since I put that glitter over it, and then I'll be ready for my next step. So I let that turn 6 hours, and then I did my next coat, and I let that turn 12 hours. And now I'm going to take this gloss white Rust-Oleum. You want to use gloss if you're going to put tattoos or water slides or anything on it. You want to use a gloss. And I'm just spritzing it here and there because I want to get this white spot just like this, where I'm going to put my tattoo at, so that it helps the tattoo stand out better. I got this tattoo paper off of Amazon. You pick which one you want. This is Sunscopa, and you pick whether you want inkjet or laser, and clear or white, just like buying water slide. And it has the step-by-step instructions on the inside of how to use it. Now when you open it, you're going to have 2 different papers in it. One that has the writing on it is going to be the one that you print on. It says printing paper. That's the one you're going to print your tattoo on. This will be the transfer that you need to add afterwards. And you want to print on this white side. You also want to make sure you mirror your image, just like so. You want to make sure you mirror it when you print it, so that when you flip it over and lay it down, it'll be the correct position. Now I'm going to take this and cut out just the amount that I need because I don't want to waste a lot of it. So I'm just cutting out just how much I'm going to need. And this is going to be the sticky part. And what you do is you separate this sheet and you have to be careful because it has a sticky piece in between, which is what you're going to need over the tattoo in order to transfer it. So you just want to separate this. I like to take my weeding pen as I'm going around the edge because the sticky part likes to pull. If you buy this when you're doing it, you'll see what I'm talking about. You want to make sure you keep that sticky part down on the clear piece. Now you want to take that clear sheet with the sticky tape on it and lay it flat over your tattoo. Push out from the middle to the outside because you want to try to push out any air that you may get under there. You don't want to have air under it. Now I want to cut around the tattoo as close as I can. You'll need a warm bowl of water and a rag, and I always get a towel to lay it on so I don't make a mess. And now I want to see where I want to put this at before I pull the clear tape off. You want to make sure you know where you're going to put it at because once you lay it down, you cannot pick it back up. Now you want to pull the clear sheet off, which is a protective sheet. And when you pull that clear sheet back, the sticky part that you applied it to earlier is going to stay on your tattoo because that's what's going to help transfer the tattoo onto your tumbler or your skin or whatever you're putting it on. So you're pulling the protective sheet off, and now the sticky part is on your tattoo. And now once I lay this down, I need to make sure that I'm laying it where I want it at because I will not be able to lift it back up because that will mess up the tattoo and the tumbler. So once you lay it down, you're committed. So lay it down, press it down, and then take the wet rag and lay it over the tattoo. Let it get good and wet, and once it gets wet, it will release the tattoo onto the surface. Now I can just slide the white paper right off and the tattoo's on the surface. Now I take my rag and just wipe over it. If you have any air bubbles that got under there, sometimes you can push them out. If you can't, you can take a weeding pen or a needle or something and just pop the bubble and the air will pop out, and you just wipe it off and it's fine. Don't worry if it looks imperfect. Once you epoxy over it, the epoxy covers anything that you thought was an imperfection, so don't worry about that. Just keep going. After that's good and dry, now I'm ready to apply my polyacrylic. I like to always seal everything. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I love to use polyacrylic to seal my cups before I do my last coats of epoxy, because it helps to get a flawless finish. This is something I buy at Lowe's, and I just pour it in this bottle. So I'm going to apply a coat of this and I'll let it dry, all depending on the temperature of your room. It's usually dry within 15 minutes or so. After that's dry, I'm ready to apply my final coat of epoxy. I've mixed up 20 milliliters of epoxy, and I am going to add a little bit of Peachy olive glitters, Honeymoon. It's a very fine silver. I'm going to apply a coat of this, and after this coat I will probably apply a very last coat if I need it. I won't know until it's closer to the end, but given I've added this glitter in there, I probably will add a very last coat. So I'm just going to apply this coat and I'll let it spin for 6 hours and then take a look at it, and if I need another coat I'll go in with a very last coat. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions I can help you with as far as applying tattoos or working with inks, comment in the comments below and I will reply back to you. If you would like to get updates about my channel and when I post videos, etc., please subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's absolutely free, but it does help the channel to grow. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I hope you're staying blessed and safe. Thank you. Bye.